Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Right, we are here in a new game. Well, it's not a new game, it's an old game. I've already played this game on the channel, and I've played it in my own time as well. It's Foundation. It's a city building game set in a fantasy world, and it is the best city building game I've ever played, I have to say. City Skylines is very good, but this is just a little bit more, I don't know, more fun, I suppose, less scientific than City Skylines. It has had one or two updates recently, which I haven't been so keen on, but that may just be that I haven't quite been able to adjust how I play the game to fit it. The main update recently changed how you make money in the game, which is obviously quite a large thing, which we'll discover as we go along. So if you've not played this before, I'll kind of talk you through it as we go along. So you start off, you have to build. This is just, you know, I do use some mods, all sorts of different sort of construction mods, building mods, that kind of thing. But also I have used one that gives me the whole map as well. So this is a custom generated map. And then I've bought all the territories. Usually you have to buy them in segments and earn them as you go along through the game, but I do find that quite restrictive, so I do have a mod that allows me to buy them all at the start. So I've done that. So I do own the whole map, which is good because it gives me lots of freedom of where I want to build and how quickly I want to expand. First thing you have to do though is decide where you're going to start and build your village centre. So to start the game, you're going to need some stone to mine, so we've got that there, and some berries to pick to feed your people, and some trees to cut down. So this seems like a decent spot here. My view in the future is to hop over to this island here and then over to here, and I love this cliff face along here, and I like the idea of having sort of a long strip of housing all the way along this cliff top here eventually. And you can build some monster bridges in the game eventually as well, so I might end up doing some big bridges, maybe to sort of this hill and this hill. That could look pretty cool. Who knows? There's a lot in the game that I want to discover, because there's lots of things that have been going on with the updates that I've not really got into yet. But yeah, let's get started. I think I might go here for our village centre. So difficulty setting. So this is a new thing as well. I'm going to go with easy, I think. Oh dear, look at that. I mean, it's all very tricky now, all of this stuff. Knowing exactly what to go with. But yeah, I'm going to go on easy. And hang on. Starting resources, a small amount. Yeah, I don't want that one. That's cheating, basically. 10,000 everything. There's no fun in that. But a small amount just to get us going will definitely help. So I'm going to go with that. So, village aspirations. This is sort of telling you what you might want to do next in the game. Actually, this has all been updated. Victory conditions? Oh, I didn't know there were any of them in the game. Usually you just play until you give up. Optional objectives. Oh, okay. They can be completed on your terms while you manage your village. They're useful to give you new... I can't read it. They're useful to give a new unexpected direction to your rulership. Okay. Which I think you get, yeah, down here. So, reach prosperity of 500. Reach a rating of 50 with every estate. Have 100 citizens. Oh, yeah, just lots of little achievements, basically. So those things will happen as we go along, I think. We have... So, what we need to do first, we need to start gathering some resources. So, if we go into our build menu here, you can see there's all sorts of things available to be built. Tons and tons. A lot of this is from the mods as well. Oh, I haven't actually decided what I'm going to call my village. I ought to come up with a good name. My last one was called Riverside, which is a lovely name, but I can't use that again, can I? I might be silly and call it something like Leptown. Yeah. Sort of goes with the theme of the channel, doesn't it? Lep Gaming. Let's call it Leptown. Why not? No, that's an awful name. Okay, I won't go with Leptown. I'll go with something else. Anyway, let's start off with gathering some stone, shall we? So here's our stone cutter camp. So we pick where we want to put it. We can rotate it round. You want to build it close to the stone where it's going to be mining, of course. The red circle shows that people don't like being close to it with housing, so you don't want to build housing too close to that. It tells you here what your resources are, so 5 tools and 10 wood. And let's get that built. Now, no one's going to do that until we tell them to be builders, which we do in, I believe we go into our book here. No, hang on. What we have to do first is build a builder's camp, a builder's workshop rather. There we go. So, builder's workshop. The little green arrows are the front or the access points for the buildings, so they need to be accessible. So, builder's workshop doesn't cost anything to build. But let's get it in, and then this can contain 3 builders, and to assign 3 random people, unemployed people to that, we just click on that. 3 of these people are now builders. And as soon as it triggers that they are builders and there's something that needs building, they will get sent over here to start building. Now, housing insufficient. People haven't got anywhere to live. That's fine for now. We can sort that out later on. The other thing you want to get going quite early on is food, which we do in, let's have a look, food production. We have our little gathering hut here. And this needs to be built over by our berries. This is going to take 10 wood. That'll get built in a minute. So what you need to also do, this option here, paint, is where you can tell people where to build housing, where to extract resources, where to plant trees, and where they can't go at all. So extraction, and then we can increase and decrease the size of this circle. So I want to label this bit here for extraction and this bit here for extraction, so they know where to gather the resources. Right, a newcomer requests an audience. So basically these people here are new people that have come in, and I need to give them permission to join my village. There we go. So they will just become unemployed people. So this is our villagers bit here. So we have unemployed villagers, we've got 11. Total population of 14. This will tell us how many people are on the way into the city, and this one is how happy they are. They won't be happy for a while yet. Good, our stone cutters and our gathering are built. So we need to dedicate some people to this. You don't want to do too many too early because you do have a limited number of people. So I'll get 2 miners into that. And our gathering hut, I'll only get 1 into here. Now I do have a mod that increases the amount of berries that these guys pick. Because it can get very silly with the amount of food consumption in the game. I've always found it quite unbalanced, some of the resources, so I do have one that just boosts the amount of berries that you get from these things. I have played the game without any mods before, and it's fine, it's good, but sometimes I like to just get on and have fun designing a city rather than worrying whether I'm running out of a resource. It's nice to have a certain amount of limits on your resources, and obviously I don't want to cheat and just give myself free resources or anything like that, but I don't want to be struggling all the time. I take more pleasure in designing a nice looking city and getting the logistics of where my workers live and all that sort of thing correct. And everyone's different, you know. How I play the game isn't necessarily how other people would want to, so that's fine. Got to play it however, you know, suits you. Right, so we need to start chopping some wood. So I'm going to build a lumber camp right in the middle of these trees here. Let's get that going, and I need to tell them where to extract. So again, I need to label an area of trees here that will get cut down. So let's go with that. It seems like a reasonable size. Actually, no, hang on. Let's do that again. I want that roughly central, so let's come out like this. They do have a limited area that they can extract from, a certain distance. What I will also do is tell them to reforest this. Like that, just so it all kind of overlaps. So as soon as they've dug the trees up, it should then get replanted. I do have to put a forester camp in for that, so I won't do that yet because that's got So it's got an upfront cost of 10. Yeah, so that's going to... I think that little number at the top there, the 1, I think that's the upkeep costs. Yeah, see, that has none. So you want to keep that down at the moment because gold is hard to get at the start of the game. So I'm not going to worry about that yet. Right, let's get a couple of woodcutters in there. What else do we need? Right. Yes, we're full up with berries, so we need to be able to distribute our berries. So we want to go into logistics. We need a granary. So this is where food is stored. So let's build our granary in this nice little crook here in between the pathways. This looks nice. I like that it makes the little pathways. It kind of... I mean, obviously it makes sense because they're wearing out the grass, but it really creates the shape of your town, especially like this where it goes through the trees here, and yeah, it just looks really nice, and it gives you these little sort of courtyard areas where you can build the buildings in between the pathways. So yeah, I really do like that. Right, so we need a granary, then we will also need a well because people need water. So let's give them a little well over here near the builder's yard. And then we will also need a market, which is where people will buy food from. Now the markets have changed dramatically. It used to be that you would build a market, they stock the food, and then people buy the food, and that's how you make your money. That doesn't happen anymore. The food is now free. I believe this is what's happened now. The food is free, and you can only make money by trading with other towns or by collecting taxes. Personally, I'm not a fan of that change. I like the fact that you could make money from selling to your own citizens. I think that kind of makes sense at the moment. It seems odd that you're forced to trade with other people, especially when the trading in the game is not particularly good yet. I'll explain more about that when we get to it. So, and this is also a new thing that's happened with the sub-buildings, which I don't know why they needed to do this. It seems very odd that you have a main building, which is a market, and then you have a sub-building. So you see, you can do a free build or a market stall. Now I want a market stall. Free build, I think, is where you can just add decorations. But I don't know why they've done it quite like this. And again, it's not my favourite update that they've done. So we have a stall and we have a tent. I won't do a tent yet. There's no need for that. We don't have the resources really. Let's just get a market stall in here. Let's build it across the corner like that. So we'll just get that done. At least then we can start distributing some berries and our people will have some food. We have our granary here, so I'll just get one worker into that, and then you have to tell it what to stock. So in this case, I'm just going to put berries into this first slot. Now this is another mod that I've got which allows these to store up to 4,000 goods, so you can do 1,000 in each of these slots. I think the main game you can only do 100 in each slot, I think, which again is far too few. That may have changed, they may have upgraded that a bit, but it certainly isn't 1,000. Yeah, so that's another mod that I've got, which I really like. It's a good mod. Let's just have a look at these opportunities here. So, advice. This is just the game sort of directing us, really. I don't know what you get if you do these. Starts quest. Own a flower bush. Acquire decorative in the book. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to get these little things up. Favouring an estate. Let's go with the manor house one. So the estates thing is again, it's something that is it not new to the game, but they've certainly updated it a lot. Is it this one? Yeah. So you kind of unlock all these new buildings. You see, so these are all new buildings, and you unlock them as you go along. Now, because I've actually see my territory is already very high because I own the whole map. I can actually unlock all of these buildings already. The only one I can't do is this one right at the end here. I don't quite have 200 prosperity yet. I have 170 prosperity, which is far more than you would usually have at this point of the game. But that comes because I've unlocked a lot of land. So I have access to a lot of new buildings here, which is really cool. So you have your common path, you then have these, which are estates of your kingdom. So you've got labour, which is focused on... I'm not really sure where it's focused on actually. Hang on, how do you get that? Which one is it? Yeah, so sorry. So kingdom is all about fighting, so forts and building up your army. The clergy is all about churches and monasteries. Labour is just about general building, and you have to earn splendour and influence and rating. I think basically you earn these by doing certain things in the game, and then you can unlock more buildings and more privileges and taxes and stuff like that, which is all okay. I'm not a big fan of this whole system, I'll be honest. It all seems a bit pointless to me. I think you should just have access to these things, or just unlock them naturally in the game rather than having to sort of aim for them like this. It all seems a bit odd to me. This is new. I don't really know about this yet. Edicts and privileges. I think they're sort of laws and things that you can enact. But yeah, we'll learn about that as we go along. I'm learning a lot of this just at the same time as you are, really. Okay, we have our market stall built, so let's give it a market tent. So we have somebody working there, and then we'll put berries on. So hopefully that person now will come along. They'll be working here. They'll pick up the berries from the granary. The granary in turn has picked up the berries from the harvester over here, or the what they call the gathering hut. You see this little I think it's a little lady here. Yep. So she just dumped some berries in there. This guy, you see, he picks them up and he walks over to his market stall and he puts them down. And then you'll see people come up and buy them. So he now has 10 berries. This has changed as well. They can only have 10 at a time to start with. I think if you build a tent and you sort of glorify their market stall a bit, then they can hold 20, I think. But that's really not very much at all. And again, I don't know why they've done that. I think it used to be 50, which is much more realistic. 10 does seem like not enough to me, but who am I to say? Right, what do people need? Food, they're just about to get that. Comfort and service. So comfort is housing, service is a church. Should we give them a bit of housing? Let's do that. Yeah, housing is insufficient. So, residential space. Where do I want them to build some houses? I think probably just along the coast here would look pretty good, wouldn't it? Let's just give them a little area here. So the main thing you have to think about with housing is that people need to live in their house and then walk to work. So what you don't want is all your housing here and then to have work building right the way over here, because it would just take forever for people to walk to work. So you want to make sure you have housing like this near all your workplaces. So you don't have to have huge amounts. I mean, if I put one building over here, like a fisherman's hut maybe, you could just do one little splodge of housing here, just enough to build one house in that the fisherman could live in. But you do have to plan that kind of thing, otherwise people don't like living so far away. So if you click on a person, it will tell you what they need or what they have. So this person needs water, food, comfort, which is a house, and service, which is a church. Obviously they're getting water, they're getting food, they haven't got these two yet. They're currently unemployed. Jazilla Fingerling, that's a great name, isn't it? They do have some really funny names in this game. So she is a serf, which is the lowest rank. You promote people as you go through the game, and they start having more needs, so you promote them up to commoners, which then means that they need some goods as well, things like clothing. And then eventually you put them up to citizens, and then they start needing luxury goods like beer. And that all happens sort of naturally as the game goes on. So you can see here, these are all the little sites now where they are building a house. So it's going to take a whole load of wood. So the houses as well, they can upgrade. I think at the moment they can go to house tier 2 and house density 2. I believe they are planning on bringing in tier 3 and density 3 to the game at some point. Because at the moment this will only hold 2 villagers. You can make that upgrade with the desirability. So the desirability is low currently. I will fix that as and when this lot are built. So quite a lot of houses going up here. I do love the animations. That's what I love about the game. The look of the game, the randomness of the buildings, the little people. I mean, they just look great, don't they? They just look so cool. And you'll see some of the mods that I've got really bring the game to life as well. So I will do a lot of detailing. Right, how are people doing with the food? It's doing okay. So again, with the food, like the marketplace, you want the market to be right next to the granary because that's where they get the food from. So you don't want this guy to have to walk miles to collect food because he'll just constantly be walking around because he can only hold 10 at a time there. So there is a lot of planning that goes into this. You do have to think about where people are and where they need to go. How are we doing for resources? We've got lots of berries, that's good. Wood, planks, yes, planks. So don't need planks yet. I'm making wood. One of the next things to do will be to build a sawmill, which is here. So a sawmill will chop wood into planks, which you do need for some buildings. I'll tell you what I'm going to do first though. I need to get trade going because that's how I'll make some money. So this is the trade page. So these are 3 towns that I can currently unlock trade routes to. There is a 4th one here as well, but I can't afford that yet. Now this has changed as well because you unlock these with gold now. It used to be that you unlocked these with goods. I prefer this method of doing it with gold. So this is what you can buy from them, and this is what they will buy from you, and I'm just seeing the costs. So this one here will buy berries for 2. So that's really good. I think they've upgraded some of this. See, there are... It may also be that I've got mods that change some of this. I'm not really sure. I've got mods that do all sorts. So I need to figure out a good way of making money. At the moment, berries, you've got fish here that I can sell for 4. That would be quite a decent income as well. Things like boars for 10 is good. That's a good amount of money. Basically, I think this is the only way to make money now in the game is by selling stuff, essentially. And by taxes, but that won't happen for a little while. So I need to start selling. So this is the most basic one. So I'm going to unlock a trade route there. You can actually upgrade your trade routes, I think, now as well. Yeah, I think if you buy and sell, you eventually go up levels. And that means that they will buy and sell more of certain goods. So at the moment they will... What is it? They will buy... Quantity of items bought via this trade route this month and the threshold. Okay, so I can buy 10 of things and they will buy 30. So if I can sell 30 berries to these each month, that'll make me some money. So let's crack on with that. So what I need for that is a warehouse, which I need to unlock in here, which is just here, a warehouse. So I need to pay to unlock that. I come into here, go into logistics, and there is our warehouse. So it's going to cost 15 planks and 10 stone, which I have. So let's build that. I think I'll build that just here. Actually, thinking about it, if I'm just selling berries, no, the berries come straight out of the granary, don't they? So actually I don't need the warehouse. Let's have a look. Let's go back into our trade. So these are the trade routes, these are the resources to trade. So this is berries. What have we got? Stockpile and track. Okay. So I want to sell. So buy, no, sell all above. Yeah, so you click on sell and then you choose the minimum that you want to keep in stock. I'll set it to 0 because I'm making so many berries because of my mod. I can afford to always be selling them. So I think that's all I need to do actually. And that should now start making me some money from selling berries. That would be good. I will build a warehouse actually, because I'm going to need a warehouse anyway. So warehouses just store all goods that aren't food basically. Although not all goods. There are some things that don't go into warehouses, which is very confusing because there are certain things that it says you can sell to other other places, other towns, but you can't store them anywhere, so they can't be sold, which is very confusing. But let's do this. Let's get the warehouse built, because I can start storing wood and stone and planks in there. In fact, what I will also do is build the sawmill. And let's get the sawmill in here. Now, how many people do I have? Where are we? Let's go into our people. What do we have? Let's sort them by job. So I've still got 4 unemployed people. That's good. Then if we go into buildings here, this tells us which ones are full up and which ones aren't. So I've still got a spare woodcutter place. Still need 3 more miners, 2 more foragers potentially, and 5 more transporters. I will get 1 more woodcutter and 1 more miner. For now, I will just leave it there for a second, because I'm going to need someone in my... Well, I'm going to need people in my sawmill. I'm also going to need people in the warehouse. So, yeah. Well, let's see. I think I've got some people on their way, incoming in 5 days. Yes, yeah, so I've got people on the way. Some new people coming. So that's good. So mod-wise, if I come into here and go to mods, I have got all sorts here. The best one is this one, fantasy decorations. This is so helpful, this one. So what you do, you click roughly where you want to start your building, and this has all sorts of little details in here, which is just fantastic. So many little things. It's all just whimsy stuff. It doesn't really do anything, it just adds details, which I love so much. However, there is a very useful things just here. Now if you look at this, the little flower symbol here, it says 1. That is essentially beautification, desirability. So basically I'm going to plonk a few of these down around these houses, because what this will do is make these houses have higher desirability, and what that does is makes them upgrade better, basically. So there we go. So put things down where you want. If you want to add in a couple of little rabbits as well, things like that, why not? This is why I love this particular mod, because it has so many of these little things on. And then you click build, and whoops, there we have it. So we have some nice bushes, and we have a few little rabbits hopping around in the long grass there. So if you go into these buildings now, desirability is now very high. That's as good as it can get, which means they will be able to upgrade, which is brilliant. Right, got some newcomers here. Let's get all of them in. That's good. We have a warehouse built. I'll just get 1 person into that for now. And we want to start storing wood, planks, and let's go stone. Actually, let's go tools as well. I will have to start buying tools in soon. Oh, we've got a livestock fair. This is interesting. Let's have a look at this. Livestock fairs are held every 3 months. Animals of all types are available. If we have enough gold, this would be a good chance to buy some animals to establish our own livestock farms. Yes, so this is the only way in the game of starting certain livestock. So I will buy goats from Northbury, because I've opened up a trade route to them, so they will sell me goats. You get sheep, cattle and pigs from the other ones that I haven't opened yet, or we won't be buying anything. So you've got to take advantage of this, basically, because this is the only way to get things. So I'm going to buy some goats. So I will get, for this, I will get 5 goats. So you then go here and you click pay. It's cost me 180 gold. There's my gold up there, coins. But I now have 5 goats in storage. Anything that's stored that doesn't go in your warehouses goes on your little town centre bit here, so it's just a little collection of boxes here. So there are now 5 goats living basically in these boxes. It's not the nicest place for them to live. But eventually, if you go into here and go to the progression, down here somewhere is a goat farm. Now obviously I can unlock that now because I essentially cheated and unlocked the whole map, but usually you wouldn't be able to get to that until a bit further on in the game. But it's good to sort of stockpile the goats, because 5 goats will basically give me 1 goat farm. So you have to keep waiting every 3 months for these livestock fairs to happen. Yeah, great. Where are we up to? So our sawmill is still being built. It's got all its resources, just waiting for a builder. That's good. We've got some more houses being built over here. Let me just check. Yeah, for now that's fine. The next thing I need to do is a church. But do you know what? I'm going to leave that for the next episode. Now I've got to think of a name. What do I want to call my little hamlet? Oh, the sawmill is built. Wonderful. Let's just get a couple of people working in there for now. Let's have a think. What do we think? Do you know what? Cliffside. Because it's next to a massive cliff. It's not next to a river. It is next to a river, of course, but I've already done a city called Riverside. Let's call it Cliffside. There we go. There's our name. So what I need to do as well is take a screenshot. Can I remember how I removed the UI? Is it like that? Yes, it is. Woohoo! There we go. Let's get a little screenshot of our fledgling village. Let's go like that. I think the cursor will be taken off, but who knows? There we go. Screenshot taken. Let's bring the UI back. There we go. I'm going to leave it there. So, what do you think? What do you think? Have you played Foundation before? Are you interested in watching me play it? I mean, I'm going to do it whether you're interested in it or not, to be honest, just because I just fancy playing it. I just want to get back into it again. And I do love Planet Zoo, and I am going, but sometimes you do need a break from certain games. Certainly with something like Planet Zoo, your creativity will wane after a while, and you kind of run out of inspiration. I'm not quite there yet. Obviously, I am going to finish the zoo that I'm currently working on over there, but I think I want to just crack on with a few other series on the channel for a while. Just have a bit of a break from Planet Zoo, I think. And obviously, as you know, or you may not know, but with a young baby at home at the moment, my time is quite limited for doing these videos. So when I do, I want to play because I want to play the games, not because I'm having to finish a series or whatever. So yes, we'll see. I am also now on, what am I on? I'm on Twitter and, what's the other one? Is it Instagram? Yeah, I started a couple of accounts anyway. I haven't linked them on my YouTube yet. They are live, and my YouTube is linked over on them. I'm on there as lep.gaming. So if you're interested, if you want to follow me over on Twitter or on Instagram, what I'll do is basically whenever I post a new video on YouTube, I will announce it on those. So if you are on either of those two social media platforms, then you can follow me over on there and get the updates that way if you like. It's entirely up to you. I certainly aren't on social media myself. It is purely for my YouTube channel. But you know, if you want to interact with me over there, that's fine. I will partake of that. Oh look, we've got our little trader here coming in to buy some berries. Let's have a look. Oh no, he's not buying berries. That's a shame. That he's a trader from a different town, from Northbury. Actually, was that not the one that I started trading with? It was from Northbury. But he wasn't buying anything. That's odd. Let's just check out our money situation. Have we made money yet? Trade berries, none. Here we go. This month income 24 from berries. There we go. That's good. So we're starting to make some money. Excellent. So what do you think? Do you like Foundation? Do you think you might like the look of it? Have you played it before? Let me know. What do you think? Thank you very much for joining me. I do hope you're going to enjoy this series with me, and hopefully I will see you again very soon. Until then, do take care. Bye for now.